So I've committed to posting a video at least once every week on my YouTube channel this year, and the truth is sometimes it just flows right out of me, and sometimes it doesn't. I feel lost, or I feel stuck, or I feel uninspired.
But then I remember something that usually helps me feel inspired again, that helps me break my writer's block. And that is to find a way to be curious, to find a way to be fascinated. Have you ever noticed how similar the experience of being fascinated or curious is with being inspired? They're actually really similar states to be in. Being fascinated or curious can be such a pleasurable experience. You know, things have this sense of wonder. It's like this gravity that pulls you in. It creates this deep desire to know more about this thing you're fascinated by. Curiosity can lead to innovation. It can give you more information to understand and interact with the world around you. Being fascinated feels like being alive and awake and engaged with life. Curiosity is a choice. If you think your life is too boring to share about, for example, the issue isn't actually that that's true. The issue is your perception that you think it is. And that becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. What's that saying? Whether you think you can or you think you can't, either way, you're right. Feeling uninspired is often a sign that I've actually been too focused on the task at hand and haven't been giving myself enough of a break or taking enough space to let new ideas enter. It's a sign that I'm out of balance. Often our best ideas come when we're actually relaxed, so try doing something that doesn't actually require strategizing or intense focus. Do something to actually defocus. Try taking a walk in nature, or take a shower, or meditate, or put on a song that you really like and just let yourself feel it, maybe even sing it out loud. Do something that's autotelic. An autotelic experience is something that you do for its own sake, where the reward is the doing of the thing itself and not some outcome that you get at the end. It's a really good way to give your monkey mind a rest. If you think you don't have enough to say about a topic or you're not good enough, forget that. Punch fear in the face. If you have just one thing to say about a topic, then let that be enough and say that one thing. And if you can unpack that a bit and share a little bit about why you feel that way about that one thing, then great, do that. And often once you get started, more will flow. And even if it doesn't, that's okay. Just give yourself permission to start with what you have. Write about anything. Pen and paper, iPad, laptop, doesn't matter. Just write about whatever's on your mind. And don't filter yourself. No one has to read this. This gets you into a state of outputting, of creating, and it can sometimes loosen up some of the feeling of stuckness that you have. Start getting used to asking the questions why and what if a lot. Often these simple questions can open up rabbit holes of inspiration and curiosity. These questions can also be a great framework for researching something that might inspire you, or to learn more about something that you might want to share. They're also great questions to ask in the writing exercise that I previously mentioned. Cultivate a willingness to be flexible with your expectations. This can be a huge relief from the self-imposed pressure that we put on ourselves. And conveniently, one of the ways you can do this is to use the questions why and what if. This isn't flowing for me. What if I just consider this a first draft? Or what if I give myself permission to let this turn out however it's going to, knowing that I'm learning the process? Or what if I stop putting so much pressure on myself for this to be perfect? The object isn't to make art. It's to be in that wonderful state which makes art inevitable. That quote is from a new book by Rick Rubin titled The Creative Act, and I highly recommend it. I'll put a link in the description. It's got some great nuggets of wisdom for being in the creative process. Personally, I know one of the things that can shut down my curiosity or my desire to ask questions is this outdated fear of being ridiculed or judged for not already knowing. As if I should already know and that I'm somehow less of a person because I don't. But when I'm present enough to see that I'm doing this, I realize that I'm essentially choosing to limit my life experiences based on this feared projection of somebody else's opinions that may or may not even exist. And that isn't how I want to live my life. And remembering that helps me get out of my own way and just let my curiosity out. As an artist of over 20 years, I know how debilitating it can be to feel uninspired. And I also know how valuable tools for finding your way back to inspiration really are. And I hope some of these help. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you in the next one.